Hello friends, in this video we'll be taking a look at the Autosomal DNA results, predicted phenotype, traits, and even ethnicity results of an Anatolian Neolithic farmer woman from Barcin in Turkey. Her mitochondrial lineage is X2D2, and she is from this location right here, in the northwest of Anatolia. Let's go ahead and explore what she scores with my trait predictor. We are going to start with noshacot. This is what she scores with noshacot. She seems to be scoring light brown or dark brown color for eyes. We don't really have any percentages for blue or blue labor center or green. Altogether, these scores come up to less than 0.5%, so she definitely doesn't have any kind of light eye color. For hair color, she's predicted to have black hair. It looks like very low likelihood of brown hair, and everything else is pretty much non-existent, so definitely very dark in terms of hair color. And for skin color, she's predicted to have intermediate or olive skin tone. This is her predicted eye color with my web version of noshacot, so this is kind of the eye picture that it prints for her. And when it comes to hair texture, she seems to have curly or wavy hair, although there is a slight chance of straight hair for her as well. Chances are, most likely she's got wavy or curly hair. Let's go ahead and see what contributed to this score for eyes and hair. It looks like she does not have blue eye haplotype 2, and she also does not have blue eye haplotype 3 or blue eye haplotype 4, so she's quite dark in terms of her eye color variance. Let's go ahead and check her ethnic calculator results, who she resembles most ethnically. This calculation was done with 437 SNPs, and with these SNPs, by the way, it's not a very high quality file. A high quality file would have SNP count above 600, but in this case, this is what we're working with. She's closest to Gleb Sviatoslavovich. This individual is pretty southern, but he resembles most various Southeast Europeans, followed by Haj Firuz, Bronze Age individual from Iran, followed by Svaneti Georgian. It's a modern individual, it's a single person, followed by this single person from Iran. It's another single individual, followed by Pinarbasi hunter-gatherer from Anatolia, once again a single sample used for this category. And Pinarbasi hunter-gatherer from Anatolia is pretty similar to Anatolian Neolithic farmers in terms of autosomal DNA. Followed by that is Azerbaijan Neolithic, Satsurblia Caucasus hunter-gatherer, Erfurt Jew from Germany, a German Jew, two Turkish individuals, and Vili Kent from Kafkas. So it looks like very Mediterranean, Southeast European result. Southeast Europe to Mediterranean to West Asia. This is kind of what this result looks like to me. Alright, now let's see what she scores for the polygenic risk scores. And for the polygenic risk scores, she seems to be scoring a below average score for schizophrenia for Northern Europeans. She is scoring a high score for type 2 diabetes, and she's scoring a below average score for Alzheimer's. She's also scoring a below average score for multiple sclerosis. She has 0 risk variance for breast cancer out of 10, which is really good to see. She's got 8 risk variance for testicular cancer out of 14, which is not good to see. It's a little bit above average. She's got 2 risk variance for celiac disease out of 8, which is kind of typical. None of the variants were found for GSS, which is kind of sad. Not a very high quality file. And 4 risk variants for Crohn's disease out of 20 were found in the file, which is pretty typical. Let's go ahead and explore her autosomal DNA. She seems to have Warrier genotype in COMT, which is super European, very European trait. Warrier genotype basically means lower activity of the COMT or MAOA enzyme. In this case, it's the COMT enzyme. And since COMT's enzyme main function is the breakdown of dopamine, this kind of a genotype leads to increased dopamine levels, advantages in attention and motivation tasks, disadvantages in stress resiliency. I will repeat myself once again, it's a very European genotype. So she's got more dopamine. She's got no derived no-go-learner variants in DRD2 spirophenanthine pro variation, which leads to actually more dopamine Z2 receptor sites. But this is compensated by the AA genotype in TAC1, which actually leads to significant reduction in the number of dopamine Z2 receptor sites in the brain. So this AA genotype in TAC1, it's pretty serious. So she's got like a 40% reduction. For every A allele, it's a 20% reduction, so 2 A alleles is 40% reduction in the number of dopamine Z2 receptor sites in the brain. She's basically living as if she was taking antipsychotics every day. That's kind of how it is. It's very significant reduction in the number of dopamine Z2 receptor sites in the brain, increased likelihood of stuff like alcoholism, Parkinson's, ADHD, various other illnesses, and this is definitely not a typical human genotype, although every single monkey like gorilla, chimpanzee, orangutan, whatever. Every single monkey has AA genotype in TOC1, but most humans have GG genotype. Most humans don't have this A allele here. It looks like she's got short form 5-HTTLPR, once again does not have a decrease in the risk of depression, does not carry the European lactose persistence mutation, and she's got 2 sociopath variants in OXTR. It looks like she's got 2 sociopath variants for these 2 variations in OXTR, but 2 empath variants in this variation. I'm not sure which have the largest contribution to the actual phenotype, so we're just gonna say that she's got some mixed genotypes when it comes to sociopath gene. Some sociopath variations, some empath variations. For diabetes, it looks like she does not have type 1 diabetes, although for type 2 diabetes, she did score very high. There's a lot of variants that go into the score for type 2 diabetes that are not shown here on the screen. For hemochromatosis, it looks like she's not a carrier for the C282Y hemochromatosis mutation, really good to see. She does not have any APOE2 alleles in APOE, once again, really good to see. APOE is the main gene when it comes to Alzheimer's prediction, so it looks like she does not have Alzheimer's. For multiple sclerosis, she's got this genotype, which is a rare genotype that protects from multiple sclerosis, really good to see. And she actually also carries the micro P mutation. Once again, I've already voiced my opinion on this mutation, and in these 1240K files in particular, it seems to be very, very common. So obviously this is some kind of a genotyping error that's specific to these 1240K files and not evidence of Anatolian Neolithic farmers carrying micro P mutation. I think that's the obvious solution here. That's the obvious way to interpret it. No fat gene variants in FTOs RS9939609, so it looks like she doesn't have variants for obesity. Mix of muscle times, likely more sprinter than endurance athlete, likely has 40 sneeze reflex, and 1 variant for increased pain sensitivity in SCN9A. Pretty unlikely, pretty atypical result for SCN9A. The G allele here, which leads to increased pain sensitivity, is uncommon. It looks like she does not have East Asian EDAR. Once again, typical European genotype in EDAR. We're going to skip drug response. We're going to skip albinism. We're going to skip familiar Mediterranean fever. We're going to skip MTHFR. Nothing interesting here. Now, she's got this genotype for cancers, which leads to 2 times reduced risk of testicular cancer. So I'm thinking, and by the way, these 3 are by far the most important genotypes for testicular cancer. So it looks like if you count up her scores, polygenic risk scores for testicular cancer, let's see, hold on. Yeah. She's scoring 8 out of 14, but when it comes to the important ones, she's actually got a good genotype. She's got a genotype that's protective, so that's good. For leukemia, she's got lower risk of leukemia, really good to see. For rare diseases, she's got this genotype, which leads to 4.6 times higher odds of AIDS. I can't even pronounce that. I don't remember what exactly this illness is, but this is kind of unusual. Kind of an unusual genotype. For celiac disease, it looks like she doesn't really have that many risk variants. Good to see. For Crohn's disease, hold on, let's see. For Crohn's, she had 4 out of 20, which is typical. Yeah, so okay, and none of them are important. So okay, that's interesting. That's all right. And for Canavan syndrome, it looks like she's got 0 risk variants out of 2. So out of 2 variations in total. So two variations means 4 variants. You gotta multiply by 2 because every variation has got 2 alleles. Okay, so 0 out of 4 for Canavan syndrome, really good score. And for HIV and AIDS panel, it looks like she's got this genotype, which is actually protective against HIV turning into AIDS. Really good to see. So you know how some people when they get HIV, they it turns into AIDS really quickly. For other people, the process is slower, and that has to do with the HIV viral load, the amount of the virus and the way it's reproducing within your body. So in her case, she's got 90% reduction in HIV viral load. Definitely very good quality to have. Well, that's pretty much all I wanted to show you here for this sample. Thanks for watching until the end. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy my content, and you can download this file in 23andMe format from link which is in the description of the video. Also leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy this content. Goodbye.